In today's lesson, we will cover basic commands and other useful tips when getting started with MATLAB. The first command I'm going to talk about is ctrl-c. If you hit ctrl-c, it will clear everything in your command window, but it won't clear the variables from your workspace. Now, say we have the same variables, but I want to clear them from the workspace and not the command window. In that case, I can type clear and hit enter, or I can type clear all. Both of those will work. Clear all clears them from the command window. Next, I'm going to talk about ctrl-c. I'm going to make a script here. I will be discussing scripts in a future lesson, but just for the purpose of this command, I will make a script. So I have this script where the user will enter a number, and that value will be stored in the variable a. Then MATLAB will take that value and add 10 to it. Let's see what happens when I run the script. I can enter a number, and it will add 10 to give me 20. But say I run the script, and before entering a number, I click the Ctrl and C keys together. So this is what shows up. It says operation terminated during Untitled 3, and Untitled 3, as you can see up here, is just the name that I saved my file as. And it says line 1. So line 1 is the line that I just terminated the script on. The next command is triple dots like this. These triple dots are used when you have a very long line of code that just keeps going and going. This can help to shorten that, and instead of keeping the entire code in one line so MATLAB can read it, you can actually put triple dots and continue the code on the next line. For an example, I have a equals input, enter a number. This input command has to be on the same line or it won't work. However, if I put 3 dots after input and then hit enter, MATLAB will still read this as one line. Now say I have the same code with another variable b, and I move this part of the code to the next line just like I did with a, but I'm not going to put the triple dots here. Now see what happens when I run this code. It will read this part of the code first and ask me to enter a number, so I will enter 10. The next part of the code, right here, will not work because I did not put 3 dots to indicate that I had moved this part of the code to the second line. But if I try to run it now, it works fine because I have these triple dots indicating that half of the same command is on one line and half of it is on a different line. Next is the help command. Now, the help command is when you know what command or function you're looking for, but you don't know what that function or command does. For example, say I don't know what the command sqrt does. I have to have known that this was a MATLAB command to begin with. But if I don't know what it does, I can put it with help. And you can put anything here, whatever command you need help with. So if I put sqrt and hit enter, it will find that exact word-for-word command and explain what it is. The other type of help you can use is a look for command. With this, you also need to know what command you're looking for. So if I type sqrt here, it will pull up any command that has sqrt in its summary rather than the command that is only sqrt. So look for always pulls up many other similar commands as well. So sqrt helps us to find the square root of a number, but if I didn't know that, and I just wanted to know what command can I use to find the square root of a value, I can use the doc command. With this, if I put square root next to doc, so it will search square root in the MATLAB documentation files to give you all of these different posts relating to square root. And the first one that pops up is sqrt, the square root function. So even if you weren't exactly looking for the function that will give you the square root of a number, you can go through all of these to find everything related to square roots. So doc is helpful when you don't know what the exact command is that you're looking for. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that when you close MATLAB, anything in your command window is not saved. There is a way around this, because normally when we make scripts or functions, we are able to save them as MATLAB files, and usually what we put in the command window does not save after we exit our MATLAB session. But there's a way around this, and we can save it to a text file, which is a .txt extension. To do this, we first start off with diary, and then the name you want to save the file as. So I'm going to call it my file. Next, you can type anything within your code, and when you want the code to stop saving into a file, type in diary off. Now, nothing popped up when I hit enter, but if you go to the MATLAB folder, which it shows the location of the folder here, so you can figure out how to track it down. My file is made with TextEdit because I'm on a Mac, but it is going to be a text file, and everything I had written after the line, diary my file, was saved right here. Any code typed after you write diary off is not going to be saved. Now let's talk about entering multiple statements per line. If I'm creating some variables, say a equals 10 and b equals 5, I can also create them in the same line by writing a equals 10 and putting a comma before I put b equals 5. When I hit enter, it will give me the same output as if I had coded two separate lines for them. Let's talk about what a semicolon does. Say I have a equals 10 and b equals 5, and I put semicolons after each one of them. When I hit enter, nothing is going to show in my command window. This is because a semicolon suppresses the output. So if I had a equals 10 and a semicolon right after that, and then b equals 5 with no semicolon, the b equals 5 is going to show in the output because I didn't put the semicolon after it. Now if I have a equals 10, comma, b equals 5, and a semicolon at the end of the b equals 5, the a equals 10 is going to show because the b equals 5 was suppressed. Lastly, I want to talk about controlling the order of operations. We talked about basic calculations in a previous video, and I mentioned how MATLAB goes in the order of BEDMAS. From left to right, it will evaluate brackets first, then exponents, then division and multiplication, then addition and subtraction. For example, say I am trying to evaluate 4 plus 5 divided by 6. MATLAB first does 5 divided by 6 and then adds 4 to it to get 4.8333. But if I wanted to do the addition part first, I would have to put them in brackets and then divide it by 6. So this is 4 plus 5, which is 9, and then divided by 6 to get 1.5. Note how the brackets made a difference in the order that the expression was evaluated. So that's all for today. If this video helped you, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more related content. I will be leaving a link in the description below to the related blog post. Thanks for watching.